just kind of ready. Okay. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Joe Genorio, and I'll be doing some music for you today. And for the longest time, I didn't think this congregation liked Daniel Nahmod. I don't know where I got that impression, so I never did his music here. And I like Daniel Nahmod, so then I found out different. So here's a Daniel Nahmod song I'm pretty sure you know. There is more than enough in a universe that you created. There is more than enough on a planet of sacred design. There is more than enough for humanity made in your image. Well, why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Your infinite love made me, made everything I see, and all that will ever be. Your infinite love. Let my soul know the truth, whatever you do to do. Your infinite love will prove more than enough. And the song is repeated. There is more than enough in a universe that you created. There is more than enough on a planet of sacred design. There is more than enough for humanity made in your image. So why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Your infinite love made me, made everything I see, and all that will ever be. Your infinite love. Let my soul know the truth, whatever I choose to do. Your infinite love will prove more than enough, more than enough, more than enough.
Thank you, Joe. What a beautiful way to start off our service. Yeah. Just being reminded of that infinite love of the divine. I invite you to join me in our opening prayer. Well, first of all, I'm jumping the gun. All right. Keep me straight now. Welcome to Unity of Hagerstown. It's so wonderful to see each and every one of you, and welcome for those who are joining us virtually. We're so appreciative of your taking the time out to do so. And now, let's move into our opening prayer, shall we? Just go ahead and center yourselves, closing the eyes so that we're not distracted by anything on the outer, moving our focus to our heart space and thinking about that infinite love of God that surrounds us, enfolds us, that moves through us as us. And from this place, we give deep gratitude for the love that upholds us, that we are. We give gratitude for being here today in this moment, and that activity of spirit within that guides us each step of the way. We give gratitude for grace and all the gifts that we've been given. And so it is. Amen. And now if you will join me in our mission statement together. Unity of Hagerstown, a welcoming community, embraces spiritual awakening through affirmative prayer and meditation, creating a positive path of abundant living for all. And now we have the reading of the Daily Word with Helen. And as she comes up, just for those who may not know, the Daily Word is an inspirational daily reading that you can get either a hard copy of, or you can find it in your inbox if you sign up for it at unity.org. Okay.
Good morning. Today's word is excitement. Each new day, the sun rises on a world full of wonders, from the magnificence of the natural world to the many fascinating things there are to learn and the many displays of creativity that surround me. I can find so much to capture my interest and kindle my excitement. When I shrink from life, when my interest in exploration wanes, I can lose my zeal and passion. My involvement is the key. To regain my excitement, I become an active participant in life. I break out of comfortable habits and routines. I try new things and meet new people. If this is intimidating, I remind myself God is everywhere and in everyone. As I explore, I am opening myself more and more to the divine. As my interest grows, a bigger world awaits me. And from Psalm 150, verse 6, let everything that breathes praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Please join me in the affirmation on the screen. I am an active participant in this exciting life. Take that in. Remember all the exciting things that are in this world, and with enthusiasm. I am an active participant in this exciting life.
Thank you, Helen. And now we'll have another song with Joe.
So I wrote this song several years ago in response to a sermon by Reverend David Mosier. And as I was putting together a video for this song, I realized the song was more about women than it was in general. So if you look at the video on my YouTube thing, it's all women in there. And I thought it was apropos for today, given our subject matter. It's called Find Your Truth. Wake up in the morning, same thoughts on your mind. You ride to work and think about how it takes up all your time. The kids at school, the family, the grocery store, you fill your cart and somehow it gets done. At the end of the day, when you go to bed and I wonder, where has it gone? You want to find your truth. It's there in your heart. You want to know your truth. It's there in your heart. You want to open your mind and let in the light. It's there in your heart. Just let it go and know your truth. Little things on your mind every day don't go away now. You try to force yourself to be what you think you ought to be now. But there you are in this place, It's not far. It's waiting, oh, waiting for you. You want to find your truth. It's there in your heart. You want to know your truth. It's there in your heart. You want to open your mind and let in the light. It's there in your heart. Just let it go and know your truth. Breathe in grace, and you will find the place. Make it your home and know your peace. Breathe in grace, and you will know the place. Make it your home and know your peace. You want to find your truth. It's there in your heart. You want to know your truth. It's there in your heart. You want to open your mind and let in the light. It's there in your heart. Just let it go and know your truth. Know your truth.
Thank you. Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so we are at that time, one of the highlights of the service, in which we get to greet our neighbors, say hello, introduce ourselves if we need to, and we can do this with a handshake, a hug if we ask permission, or just a howdy even, whatever your comfort level is. And if you are not a hugger, please let us know, because this is a room full of huggers. I'm warning you now. And if you have a desire to do so, to say hello to our virtual friends, please come up here, because I think they only see the first row. And they may think I'm talking to an empty room. So, okay, let's greet our neighbors. Okay, so I did want to say hello to our virtual friends and say, if you are willing to, please write down a greeting in the comment section. I will read them and respond. If you have any questions about Unity, feel free to email me at sandy.boyer@gmail.com. And at this point, I'm going to go greet a couple people. Madonna, yes.
Come on.
She's the OG.
Come on.
So if you can hear this, please be seated. If you can hear my voice,
Okay, everyone,
please be seated.
time to take your seats.
If you can hear my voice, please be seated. If you can hear my voice, please be seated. I love that this is such a welcoming, friendly crowd, but it's time to be seated now. Or else I might break into song, and I don't think you want that. So please be seated. Okay, close enough. Okay, so we are continuing on with our Badass Women of the Bible series. And we are. And in case you're wondering how much longer can this go on, It's going to be through the end of August. So just a couple more weeks. You have to indulge me a bit. So after writing the Book of Joy, the Dalai Lama was at an interview and he was asked, what is the happiest moment in your life? He paused for just a moment. He goes, this one. Today we look at manifesting our soul's desire by living in the present moment, and also by looking at the story of Hannah found in the Hebrew Testament in the book of the First Samuel. Not the First Samuel, First Samuel. The very first Samuel. So Hannah's story is one that's kind of found throughout, similar to ones that is found throughout the Hebrew Testament. She was the favorite wife of her husband, but her husband's other wife had given him children, and she had not. She was childless. And now, as I said, she certainly wasn't the only woman found in the scriptures to be childless. You may recall Sarah, wife of Abraham, who had actually laughed in her old age when she was told that she would have a child. And then there was Rebecca as well, who became somewhat indifferent because of her lack of children. And Rachel, who became maybe it feels like a little irritated at her long wait for a child. So Hannah's reaction was both similar and a little bit different to these. And it's similar in that it was a very human response. Every year, her husband took the family to Shiloh in order to worship and to visit his two sons who were priests there. And the entire journey for Hannah was torturous. Her sister wife, I don't know what you call them, her co-wife would make disparaging remarks about Hannah's lack of children. And Hannah would also see the families coming into Shiloh to worship at the temple with all the children, and that would just really pain her heart. Shiloh was a bustling city at the time, so year after year, this emotionally charged journey for her just seemed to get worse, until finally one year she began crying and she just lost her appetite completely. Her husband, understandably, was concerned and asked what was wrong. And while there's no recorded response, we read that she went into the temple to pray, the tabernacle to pray, and she began asking God to remember her, to give her a child, and she would dedicate this child to the Lord, and swore never to cut his hair as a symbol of this dedication. So fervently did she pray that the priest there, Eli, thought that she was drunk and began reprimanding her, at which point she said no, she had had nothing to drink. She had just been pouring her heart out to God. And then Eli blessed her and prayed with her for a child. And of course, Hannah bore a son, named him Samuel, and when the child was weaned, she took him back to Shiloh and back to Eli and asked the priest if he remembered her. She left Samuel there, honoring her commitment to dedicate him to God. Now, this is the only picture I could find. This is obviously a Eurocentric picture. I am pretty sure this looks like nothing like the scene. Okay. Okay, but while she was in the tabernacle, she prayed again. And this time it was a prayer of faith, of joy, and love. And we read that Samuel grew before the Lord, and that Hannah bore 3 sons and 2 daughters. So there's the story. This is a story of prayer, of faith, of belief, just a lot to unpack there, but we're going to look at it metaphysically, because that's what we like to do in Unity, seeing that each character is symbolic for a state of consciousness within us. So let's see if we can't discover our own hidden Hannah. Hannah, in the Hebrew, means grace or favor. But metaphysically, it means a little bit slightly different about that. It means the soul that's established in grace through prayer. In fact, the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, and yes, there is such a thing, tells us that that it means the soul receives that which it desires, the ability to hear the inner voice of spirit, to perceive truth. Now, this is the very definition for me of prosperity. Moving beyond the level of the personality, beyond the level of the ego. On our personal level, prosperity may look like more toys, right? Or more money in the bank. But on our soul level, it is that communion with God. It's what our soul hungers for. Our elder brother Jesus knew this and told us to seek first what? The kingdom, yes. And then everything else is added to us. Lamentations 3:25 tells us, the Lord is good to those who wait for him, to the soul who seeks him. And then also, this verse kind of applies too, I think. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. You know, sometimes I think that we need to completely rewire our brain in order to stop any self-sabotage we have of this desire. Now, you may be wondering, how do we sabotage our soul's desire? Well, one, by not paying attention. Two, by becoming so busy that we kind of push that small voice down. There are multiple ways in which we are able to numb ourselves so that we don't listen. But becoming more present, revealing more presence, can be done with several different spiritual tools, multiple ways, really. In Unity, we do a lot with affirmations. Affirmations are the same as mantras. It's a tool that helps us gather our thoughts around a specific idea. It trains the mind. A powerful affirmation is set in the present. I am. It's not set in the past. It's not set in the future. I am becoming love. No, I am love. Okay? It's one that awakens our thoughts to that activity of God within us and recognizes that we have been given divine qualities such as love, strength, faith, and that by focusing on them, they become more active in our lives. So we don't speak an affirmation to make it true. It's already true. We already have been given love. But we speak it to remember its truth. James Dillett Freeman, who wrote the prayer for protection, which we'll say later on in this service, tells us the purpose of affirmations is to bring me into an awareness of the truth. And of course, there are plenty of practices that bring us into this present moment, the moment in which we experience presence more fully, presence with a capital P, mindfulness, meditation, Tai Chi, creative arts, walking in nature. Whatever we practice grows stronger. If we practice worrying, it's going to grow stronger, right? If we practice holding fearful thoughts or thoughts of limitation, we're giving our energy and power to that. That's going to grow stronger. If we practice loving thoughts, what happens? We become more compassionate. We may even become a little bit kinder to ourselves, to others. So I want to pause here and give a shout out to Tara Brock because she influenced and inspired the remainder of this lesson. So I don't want to, go forward without saying that. So we may feel as though we can't change. Perhaps we feel like we're too stuck in our ways. Or perhaps we feel we're too old to change. But it is possible. The Buddha taught, I would not be teaching this path of awakening if genuine happiness and freedom were not possible. It takes patience, it takes practice to rewire our brains from feelings of fear or deficiency to one of well-being, in which we are open to spirit, to develop that sense of well-being and the resilience to be able to respond to what's going on in our lives, what's going on in our world. Because we have a negativity bias. I don't know if you've heard that before, but as soon as I heard Tara say that, I'm like, yes, we do. A negativity bias, we are always looking for what's wrong. And it's from thousands of years of looking for the tiger, right? Searching for what's wrong in our environment as a safety precaution. But we have kept that habit throughout generations. So I'm going to invite us to get into a habit of something different. A habit of savoring the moment, of seeing the beauty, seeing the divine everywhere we go in a purposeful way, cultivating the capacity of joy, of appreciation, of God, of that presence of God. So here is a little tool that I'm going to give to you, absolutely free. It's a reflection that you might choose to do throughout your day or something similar, and it takes less than a minute. So, less than a minute, a couple times a day, might change your life, okay? So let's get ready and do this. Go ahead and close your eyes if you're comfortable in doing so. This is not a meditation. It's, like I said, it's going to be short, so don't go deep. Okay, and just bring to your mind a time in which you experienced a sense of well-being. Maybe it's now, or maybe it's recently when you got together with family or friends. Maybe it's because of something that you saw that was beautiful and really touched your soul. Or maybe you accomplished something. You finished your to-do list and you felt great about doing that. So hold on to that sense of well-being and allow it to grow within you, savoring it. It could be that that sense of well-being is there without a cause. Now, for those of you who can't think of a time when you felt this sense of well-being, just consider the question, why not? What was blocking it? Were there judgments that were getting in the way? And be gentle with yourself when you ask that question. Okay, so that is your 30-second reflection. So just bring our attention back here, but you can see how doing that, savoring that sense of well-being, savoring a sense of gratitude, changes your life. Where attention goes, energy flows. We know this. So we all have habits, good. Some are good, and some keep us playing small. Being open to something good instead of anticipating trouble, instead of looking for the tiger, is what we're shooting for here. So here's another little exercise that you can take with you. And this is an easy one too. Again, less than 30 seconds. An affirmation. Let's say this together. The quietness of the presence of Spirit in me makes me one with the presence of stillness. And again, go ahead and just close your eyes for a bit and allow me to repeat this affirmation. The quietness of the presence of Spirit in me makes me one with the presence of stillness. And breathe that in. And perhaps invite that presence of Spirit to be felt a little bit more fully. Okay, and then just come back to the room. So there are 2 tools you can take with you. Savoring, whether it's the moment or appreciation, and a use of affirmation. We don't just state the affirmation, we experience it. We feel it. That's why most of the time with our daily word readers, they give us a chance to have it come in and really engage with our whole being. So studies have shown that people who experience well-being, people who experience happiness, hold an intention of well-being and happiness. In other words, it's a proactive thing for us. We have to open to our happiness, open to that joy within. We have to open to our awareness of oneness. Positive psychology tells us we have to intentionally gladden the mind, gladden the heart, in order to undo that negativity bias. If we want a new habit, if we're tired of being, how we're being, I don't know what that is, but maybe it's judgmental, maybe it's being insecure. If we want a new habit, we have to invoke a positive experience and sustain awareness for 15 to 30 seconds throughout the day. So next time you see a beautiful sunset, instead of saying, oh, that's nice, and walking away, what are you going to do? You're going to savor that. I know you are. Think for a second the last time you had a negative experience. Something didn't go the way you wanted it to. Maybe someone cut you off in traffic. I don't know. How many times did you mull that over in your head? Right? So we need to purposely sustain the moments of well-being in order to help us open to the good. And my friends, there is good all around us, open to the divine, and we know that God is present everywhere within us. So I'd like to read to you a poem now by one of my favorite authors, my favorite poets, Hafiz. Yes, I got Beth's attention. What is the difference between your experience of existence and that of a saint? The saint knows that the spiritual path is a sublime chess game with God, and that the beloved has just made such a fantastic move that the saint is now continually tripping over joy and bursting out in laughter and saying, I surrender. Whereas, my dear, I am afraid you still think you have 1,000 serious moves. So we want to leave that serious mind frame that wants to fix things. Leave that mind frame that wants to worry, that is looking for what's the shoe to drop. That's the saying, right? The next shoe to drop. And develop the sense of wonder and joy that brings our soul's desire to us. And just as Hannah's name means grace, literally, when we allow our thoughts and heart to align with the Christ consciousness within us, align with our higher self, we experience this sense of grace. It's not something that our personality can do. It's not something that our personality can work for or attain even. But because we are more than our personality, we have access to this any time we'd choose. Through our awareness, we birth Samuel, who metaphysically is that within that has conscious contact with the divine. I'm going to end with a quote. It's kind of a long one, which is why I didn't put it on the screen, by Dana Fouts. Do not let the day slip through your fingers, but live it fully now. This breath, this moment, catapulting you into full awareness. Time is precious. Minutes disappearing like water into sand unless you choose to pay attention. Since you do not know the number of your days, treat each as if it is your last. Be that compassionate with yourself, that open and loving to others, that determined to give what is yours to give and to let in the energy and wonder of this world. Experience everything, writing, relating, eating, doing all the little necessary tasks of life as if for the first time, pushing nothing aside as unimportant. You have received these same reminders many times before. This time, take them into your soul. For if you choose to live this way, you will be rich beyond measure, grateful beyond words, and the day of your death will arrive with no regrets. So I thank you for your kind attention, and now I invite you to let's join together in a time of meditation. This will be a guided meditation followed by a period of silence, and then Joe will come up and sing a song that will bring us out of it. Or you can stay in it. It doesn't matter really to me. But so let's go ahead and adjust our positions as necessary and begin paying attention to our breath. And as we do so, we allow our bodies to relax. our thoughts to calm down. The worries in our hearts we release. The fears, anything that is preoccupying us, our thoughts or tension in the body. And we're going to go back to the affirmation that we used earlier. The quietness of the presence of Spirit in me makes me one with the presence of stillness. Spirit as a gentle voice within, perhaps just a nudge or a knowing. But this quietness does not mean it's any less powerful. The quietness of this presence of Spirit in me makes me one with the presence of stillness. And this is an inner quality of mind, this stillness. And it's perfectly okay if thoughts come in, distractions happen. The idea is to return our attention back to the presence of Spirit within, to this oneness with stillness. With each breath, let that be a reminder. The presence of Spirit within, the oneness with stillness. The presence of Spirit within, the oneness with stillness in the silence. as we continue to sit restfully, let us give thanks for this time together. Let us give thanks for the grace that abounds. And as Joe begins his song, we allow that music to wash over us.
I am in you, you are in me. I am the truth and the light and the love that will set you free. My faith is a boat on the ocean, sailing the shining sea. I am in you, you are in me. I am in you, you are in me. I am the truth and the light and the love that will set you free. My love is a star in the heavens, shining for all to see. I am in you, you are in me. I am in you, you are in me. I am the truth and the light and the love that will set you free. My song is a breeze from the mountains, healing in harmony. I am in you, you are in me. I am in you, you are in me.
Thank you, Joe. Ooh. And if you'd like to join me in our offertory prayer, I invite you to do so. Together, we affirm infinite abundance and prosperity continuously flowing into and within this ministry through spirit and expressing through infinite channels. And we affirm the wisdom, understanding, and discernment in all matters as Spirit guides us along our path. Amen. And during the offering, we'll have another song by Joe.
So this song, imagine yourself in a subway, deep in the subway, and the power goes out, and you're just standing there waiting, but it's pitch black because you're way underground, and it doesn't come back on rather quickly. So after a while, people start to get a little nervous and anxious, and they start to reach out, and when they're reaching out, they have no idea who that person is. And that's what this song is about. It's called In Darkness Find the Light. Darkness hides the color, a blessing in disguise. Judgment's lost to fever, common ground to find. A voice sings, can you hear me? Searching for a hand to a trust, a likely friend, a simple loving hand. When burdens sway and colors sway, find fault in the other, just close your eyes and hear the voice of all of us together, 'cause all souls are pure of heavenly cast, all colors lost in the light. Close your eyes and clear the past, embrace the darkest night. In darkness find the light. Ooh, in darkness find the light. Listen close with open heart to hear the song of life. A gentle breeze, a sense of light, a glimmer does arise. And in the dark with open eyes to burn upon that altar false gods of fear that hold us near and keep us from each other. 'Cause all souls are pure of heavenly cast, all colors lost in the light. Close your eyes and clear the past, embrace the darkest night. Oh, in darkness find the light. Oh, in darkness find the light. Listen close with open heart to hear the song of life. Gentle breeze, a sense of light, a glimmer does arise. And in the dark with open eyes to burn upon that altar false gods of fear that hold us near and keep us from each other. 'Cause all souls are pure of heavenly cast, all colors are lost in the light. Close your eyes and clear the past, embrace the darkest night. Oh, in darkness find the light. Ooh, in darkness find the light. Ooh, in darkness find the light.
Yes, so thank you, Joe. We have a few announcements. This month we have an August book drive. This is a community book drive in conjunction with United Way, with HARC, and a few other organizations as well. There is a box underneath the coat racks in the foyer to put in gently used books for children, okay, children's books. We also have a midweek service going on for the rest of August. This past week, it was wonderful. I want to encourage, if you have any desire, kind of any inkling that you might want to come out on Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. We are doing the prayer for protection, one line at a time, with readings, with music, with meditation, and maybe even a special blessing. It's quite lovely. And then next Sunday, I am asking for any gentlemen who are interested in a Unity men's group to meet with me, and let's get this thing started, okay? If you have ideas, if you have, no thoughts at all, but like to bring your energy to it, let's see what we can do with this, okay? Want to support the guys here. And then our end of summer bash is happening August 26th at Ann Baker's Farm. Music with Brett and Patty, catered vegetarian dinner, games. You can, yes, Diane? Oh, the time for that? There are flyers out that you can take one. I believe it starts at 4. Yeah. So you can bring games if you want. You can put your feet in the creek if you want. Whatever you want to do. It's a great way to get to know each other in this community. So if you're just started coming, I would highly recommend coming to this so we can get to know you and you can get to know us. Saturdays we continue with our walk and talk meeting at Cushwa Basin, 9 a.m. And that's exactly what it sounds like. We walk, we talk, and we do it at the same time. And I don't know why you laugh. You just encourage me, Don't laugh anymore. We have a couple save the dates. Circulation Day happening Labor Day. Mind, Body, Spirit Fair, first Saturday in October. Women's Retreat happening the 20th of October through the 22nd. That's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think that's it. That's it with the announcements. So at this time, we're going to say goodbye to our beloved virtual community. We hope you have a wonderful day. Keep being your awesome self. You are letting that light shine. I can feel it from here.